Let me tell you something that might shock you. Most people live their entire lives trying to be chosen. Chosen for love, chosen for approval, chosen for opportunity. And the truth, when you're the one waiting to be chosen, you're giving all your power away. But what if I told you, you could flip the script. What if I told you there is a version of you, stronger, sharp, undeniable, so magnetic that the same people who overlooked you before will beg for you, not because you're chasing them, not because you changed to please them, but because you finally remembered who the hell you are. Stay with me, because by the end of this talk, you're going to walk differently. You're going to speak with certainty. You're going to own your presence so powerfully that they won't just want you, they'll fight for a chance to stand next to you. Are you ready? Let's go. You've been taught your whole life to be nice, to be liked, to be agreeable. And listen, there's nothing wrong with kindness, but let's make something clear right now. Kindness without boundaries is weakness. You don't get respect by trying to be liked. You don't get people to chase you by constantly seeking their approval. You get it by showing up with certainty, with standards, with a spine. We've been conditioned to believe that if we make everyone happy, they'll choose us. If we say the right thing, wear the right thing, play small enough, quiet enough, polite enough, maybe, just maybe, they'll love us. And that's the trap. That's where your power dies. You shrink yourself hoping someone will notice you. You mold yourself hoping they'll accept you. But here's the truth. When you seek approval, you position yourself beneath the very people you're trying to impress. And I get it. It's terrifying to stop people pleasing. It's terrifying to say, this is who I am, and let the chips fall where they may. But here's what happens when you stop chasing approval and start commanding respect. Your energy shifts. People can feel it. They don't know what's different about you, but suddenly they lean in. They listen harder. They feel pulled toward you because you need them. Because you want to know the fastest way to lose respect? Be desperate for it. You want to be the one they beg for? Be the one who doesn't need them to want you. Neediness repels. Certainty attracts. And certainty doesn't come from shouting or trying to dominate. It comes from deep alignment with who you are. From knowing your value so completely that you don't flinch when someone else doesn't see it. You ever notice how the people who are most admired aren't the ones trying to win everyone over? They're the ones who are so grounded in who they are that even when someone disapproves, it doesn't shake them. And guess what? That calm confidence, it's rare, it's magnetic. It makes people want to be around you just to figure out how you do it. But here's the catch. This doesn't happen by accident. It's a decision. You decide to let go of approval. You decide to stop trying to be what everyone wants. You decide to trust that the right people will gravitate to your truth and the wrong ones will fall away. And if they fall away, let them. Let them. Because the moment you stop compromising yourself to gain acceptance is the moment you become undeniable. You start speaking differently. You walk into rooms differently. You stop asking, am I enough? And start declaring, I know what I bring to the table. That's when people take notice. That's when doors open. That's when the world starts reacting to you instead of you constantly reacting to the world. Listen, there is a fire inside you. But if you keep dimming it to make others comfortable, you'll never know how bright you can burn. If you keep asking for permission, you'll always be waiting. And if you're always waiting, you'll never lead, you'll never rise, you'll never be the one they beg for. Let go of approval, claim your space, and watch how fast the world starts leaning toward you. Energy. It's everything. Before you say a word, before you even make eye contact, people already feel you. They don't know why. They can't explain it. But something about your presence either pulls them in or pushes them away. Not by accident. That's not luck. That statement, you've got to understand every room you walk into, you bring a frequency with you. If you walk in timid, unsure, second guessing yourself, people won't say it out loud, but they'll feel it. They'll treat you like you treat yourself. Because the world responds to the energy you lead with, not the words you speak. If you want to own a room, you have to own yourself first. Not just when things are good. Not just when you're prepared and polished and everything's going your way. No, you need to learn to shift your state on demand. That's what separates the people who get noticed from the people who get ignored. You ever see someone walk in and suddenly everyone gets quiet? Not because they yelled or demanded attention, but because their energy was so aligned, so powerful, present, that it shifted the space. That's not charisma, that's mastery. That's someone who knows how to control their internal world so well, they influence the external without even trying. Most people wake up and just react. React to their phone, react to traffic, react to other people's moods. And then they wonder why their life feels out of control. You want to be the one they beg for? You want to be unforgettable? Then stop living in reaction. Get intentional. Get strategic. Choose your state before you step into any environment. That means before the meeting, you prime yourself. Before the phone call, you decide who you're going to be. Before the conversation, you shift from anxiety into power, from fear into presence. Because if you don't choose your state, the world will choose it for you. And don't get this twisted. This isn't about faking it. This isn't about pretending to be confident. It's about training yourself to generate confidence. Confidence isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you build. It's something you anchor. And it starts with physiology. Stand up taller. Breathe deeper. Speak with certainty. Move like someone who knows where they're going. The body leads the mind leads the energy creates the outcome. You walk in with that kind of control. People feel it. They may not know what you do, they may not know your name, but they'll remember you. Because people don't remember what you said as much as they remember how you made them feel. And when your state is strong, when you're locked in, not anxious, not needy, not waiting for permission, but powerful, certain, alive, they start shifting, they lean in, they listen closer. You're not trying to get their attention anymore. You own it. This is the difference between hoping people respond to you and knowing they can't ignore you. You want to win in business, in relationships, in life? Learn to manage your state, learn to master it. Because the world is full of noise, full of chaos, full of people trying to get seen, but very few who know how to lead a moment with presence. You become one of those few, and I promise you, they will feel the shift. They will feel you. That's when they stop choosing other people. That's when they start choosing you. Because when you control the energy in the room, you become the most powerful person in it. Let me ask you something. How high are your standards? Not what you say they are, but what you actually live by. Because most people talk a good game. They say they want greatness. They say they want to be respected. But their actions say, I'll take whatever I can get. And you can't attract extraordinary results with average standards. You can't command the world's attention when you're constantly compromising who you are just to fit in. The truth is, people will treat you how you teach them to treat you. And every time you settle for less than you deserve, you send a message, not just to them, but to yourself. You're telling the world, this is what I believe I'm worth. You're showing up as a discount version of yourself and wondering why no one's offering you full value. But here's the thing, if you don't value your time, your energy, your presence, why should they? You want to be the one they beg for? Then stop being the one who tolerates crumbs. Stop being the one who accepts inconsistency, disrespect, half effort. Raise your standards so high that only those ready to rise can meet you there. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about knowing that you've spent far too long undervaluing your worth and that it's time to step into the version of you who doesn't settle, ever. And look, I'm not saying this is easy. I know what it's like to lower your standards because you don't want to be alone, because it's convenient, because you think maybe this is all there is. But that mindset That's what keeps you stuck. That's what keeps you small. And the moment you choose to stop settling, yes, it'll be uncomfortable. Yes, you'll probably lose some people. But what you'll gain is power, is freedom, is respect. First from yourself, then from everyone else. See, the world mirrors back what you project. If you show up desperate, you attract manipulation. If you show up needy, you attract games. But when you show up with unshakable standards, when you operate from a place of deep self-respect, everything changes. You don't need to chase anymore. You become the prize. And when you're the prize, people step up or step out, but either way, you win. Let me make something clear. This isn't about being cold. This isn't about being hard. This is about having clarity. Clarity about who you are, what you want, and what you will not tolerate. You're not lowering the bar to make others comfortable. You're raising the bar to create the life you deserve. Because here's the secret. The moment you raise your standards, life rises to meet you. People will say, you've changed. Good. That's the point. You're not here to stay the same. You're not here to live on repeat. You're here to evolve, to expand, to elevate. And if someone can't keep up with that growth, let them go. Don't slow down your journey to match someone else's comfort zone. The ones who are meant for you will rise to meet your new standard, or they'll fall away. And either way, it clears your path. You have to get brutally honest with yourself. Where are you settling? Where are you shrinking to be accepted? Where are you making excuses for people who don't show up fully for you? Because every time you say yes to less, you delay your breakthrough. Every time you ignore your own standards, you dim your light. And the world doesn't need a dim version of you. It needs you fully on. So from this moment forward, I want you to decide, no more negotiating your worth. No more tolerating half-hearted effort, whether it's from others or from yourself. If it's not aligned with who you're becoming, it's not welcome in your life. Period. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to beg. You just need to embody the standard, and the right ones will rise to meet you. And that's when they start chasing you. Most people give from a place of lack. They give their time, their energy, their love, not because they're full, but because they're hoping that giving will fill the emptiness inside them. They're hoping it will earn them worth, affection, validation. But here's the truth. When you give from emptiness, you don't empower anyone. You drain yourself, and you set yourself up to need in return you. You know what that looks like? You're giving, and deep down, you're hoping someone notices, hopes they appreciate it, hopes they finally see you. But when they don't, you feel resentful, rejected, unseen. That's not love. That's not connection. That's a transaction disguised as generosity. And when your giving is transactional, it turns you into a beggar. Quietly, secretly, you're begging to be valued, begging to be chosen. But that's not power. That's not leadership. That's not how you become the one they chase. You want people to crave your presence? Then stop offering it from emptiness. Stop giving away your essence just to feel like you matter. Instead, build yourself until you're overflowing. You pour out, not because you're lacking, but because you have so much, it just spills over. That's the shift. That's the key, the most. Magnetic people are the ones who don't need anything from you. They're complete with or without your praise, your affection, your approval. They show up with a full cup. And when they give, it's a gift, not a trade. That's the energy that draws people in. Because there's no pressure, there's no desperation. It's clean, it's grounded, it's powerful. That starts with taking responsibility for your emotional state. If you're tired, rest. If you're empty, fill up. If you're lost, reconnect. Stop trying to give what you don't have. Stop trying to show up for everyone else while abandoning yourself in the process. The truth is, when you show up empty, you teach others to treat you like you're disposable. When you show up full, you teach them to respect your value. You're not here to be used up. You're not here to be everyone's emotional crutch. You're not to create impact. You're here to give from strength, not sacrifice. And that only happens when you prioritize your power, your rituals, your peace. Don't apologize for that. Don't feel guilty for choosing yourself, because when you take care of your own energy first, you become a force. People can't get enough of that. They don't just want you, they need your presence. They depend on your certainty. They feel your wholeness and want to be around it. That's when they start chasing you. Not because you're loud, not because you're flashy, but because your energy feels like home. It feels like truth. And that's rare, that's addictive. The game changes when you no longer give to be seen, when you're no longer bending over backwards hoping someone will love you for it. You stop performing, you stop pleasing, so you stop begging, you start being. And that shift, it's everything. Because when you're full, when you're lit from within, people feel it. They don't know why they're drawn to you, but they are. And here's what happens next. When you stop giving from need, you stop attracting people who only take. You start attracting those who match your frequency, people who pour back into you, people who meet you where you are, people who respect your time, your energy, your boundaries, because you respect them first. And that's when everything starts to click. That's when your circle upgrades. That's when your opportunities multiply. That's when your life finally feels aligned. But it starts with one decision: to stop giving from lack, to stop operating like you have to prove your worth. You don't. You never did. You were worthy before you gave a damn thing to anyone. Now it's time to own that. Fill your own cup. Overflow from power. Let your presence become a gift, not a request. Because when you give from fullness, you don't have to chase anyone, they come running to you.